Okay, so I'm sure you could hear in the last video our fire alarms go off and we weren't allowed to come back in the building, so I had to make this next video in the morning just to finish the last example and a half. But I'm going to go ahead and start talking about number 5 again because truthfully I don't remember yesterday when the fire alarms went off exactly how far I got in explaining number 5. And I know that I have stuff that's written there, but I just want to make sure that I hit all the high points. So in number 5, remember that we're writing the equation of the parabola with this given information. So if we're given the vertex 1, 2, well that's h and k no matter what. If I'm given the focus, either the focus is going to be h plus p comma k, or it's going to be h comma k plus p. So we have those two options. Either p is going to be added to the h or to the k. And what I notice is that the 1 doesn't show up here, but the 2 shows up here. So that means that the p value is being added to the h. And in my standard form, when p is being added to the h, that's over here. That means that my parabola is going to look like this. But more importantly for our notes today, that means our equation is going to look like this. So the y is what's going to be squared, and the x is going to be over here. So I have k, I have h. I now know the layout of my equation. I just need to figure out 4p. So if h plus p is 6, and I know that h is 1, well then I can kind of substitute 1 in place of h, and I can figure out what my p-value is. So if h plus p equals 6, and I substitute 1 for h, and I solve for p, I get a p-value of 6 minus 1, which is 5. So whenever I rewrite my standard form is y minus k squared equals 4p times x minus h. I can just take all of my values and substitute them in the right place. So I have y minus k is 2, squared, equals 4 times p, well p was 5, so 4 times 5 is 20, times x minus h, and h is 1. There we go. All right. Last thing we have today is a focus and a directrix. We have a focus and we have a directrix. So we're not really sure if this focus is h plus p comma k or h comma k plus p. But we know that the directrix, since it's x equals, well there's only one format that has x equals for the directrix, and it's not the vertical parabolas, it's the horizontal parabolas. So x equals h minus p. H minus p. That also tells us that the focus is h plus p comma k. So this is h plus p comma k. K is definitely 1. But here I have h plus p equals negative 8, and I also have h minus p equals 4. And what does that look like to you? Well, it looks like a system of equations to me. So if I maybe kind of align these a little bit, maybe I'll come put this one under here, so h plus p equals negative 8. I notice that these two p's have negative 1 and 1, so I'm going to go ahead and solve by elimination. I'm going to combine these. H and h is 2h. These get eliminated. 4 plus negative 8 is negative 4. If I divide by 2, I get h equals negative 2. And if h equals negative 2, well then, let's do it with this one. H minus p equals 4. Negative 2 minus p equals 4. If I add 2 to both sides, negative p equals 6. And if I change the signs, p equals negative 6. So when I put my pieces in the same format here, I have y minus k, well k was 1, squared, equals 4 times p, well p is negative 6, so 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. and then x minus h. And we found out that our h value was -2. So when you subtract -2, you really get +2.